Hey guys, it's Frankie here. It's been a little bit since I've made a video, and I would like to be more consistent on the channel, so this is my attempt of actually making more videos and being more consistent. So anyway, I wanted to make a video about how I have been off of social media for the last year, kind of the effects that that's had on me, and some things that I would change about how I've done it. So firstly, I've never been big on TikTok, never really had a big problem with TikTok, but YouTube and Instagram have always been a big problem for me. Just scrolling. And I could scroll on these apps for hours, just nonstop scrolling. And especially when they added these, the new shorts, like the 60-second clips or 30-second clips, I would just scroll these shorts nonstop. And aside from that being a waste of time, I think that actually just like being a waste of time is actually like the least harmful thing about scrolling mindlessly on these apps. For me, what really messed me up the most was that I feel like, first of all, the content that I was consuming was just garbage. It was just stupid, just like funny videos, like stuff that wasn't affecting my life in a positive way in any way, just mindless videos. And when I was scrolling these things for hours, I would feel like stupider. Like I feel like I'm, because you are what you consume. And I was just consuming a bunch of garbage for hours on end. And not only was I consuming garbage, but I was consuming like short content garbage. So it was like 30-second videos, 10-second videos. And I would just scroll, and not only did I feel stupider, but I was losing my ability to focus. I could no longer focus on anything for such a long time. All of a sudden, like the 10-minute videos were like impossible for me to watch. I would struggle to sit down and watch a movie, stuff like that. So yeah, I felt like these videos were making me stupider. I was losing my ability to focus. And also a big effect that really negatively affected my life was that after I was done having a doom scroll, I would try to do other things in my day, and everything just felt awful. Like it put me in such a terrible mood. If I doom scrolled for a couple hours, I can't go for a walk and enjoy that walk. I can't go for a workout and enjoy my workout. I can't cook and have a good time. Pretty much anything that I do after scrolling for a long period of time just turned into, it was impossible and it was not enjoyable. Having an addiction to these apps really negatively affected my life. So basically how I stopped getting, how I got off of these apps, which is also the same way that I managed to lose a bunch of weight and keep the weight off and also quit porn, all of these things, was me and my buddy, we made a deal with each other. We made a contract. And within this contract, we added a bunch of things that we wanted to stick to. And if one of us failed on our end of the contract, we would have to, we'd have a penalty. And if we didn't fail, then we'd have a reward. And basically, yeah, we had to be honest with each other if either of us failed. Anyway, in my contract was no YouTube, no Instagram, except for a slight exception. The only YouTube exception was that I could post videos like these, or that I can watch like my mom's YouTube channel, or like my friend's YouTube channel, silly things like that, but no scrolling, no garbage. And for Instagram, the only thing that I could use Instagram for is to like send a DM to somebody that I'm communicating with on the app. Other than that, no usage. And I started that, I want to say on like August 25th of 2024, so literally just about a year ago, and we're a year in, and I feel good about it. The one thing about quitting social media is that when I was on social media a lot, I felt bad. But now I don't feel, I think I was hoping that like when I were to get off these apps that I would all of a sudden become more like productive in my life, or that all of a sudden I would become happier. Still, get me wrong, I'm happy, but did I become more productive? Honestly, like not really. I know all these other videos say like, oh my god, I became a million times more productive and I'm more mindful and I'm all these things, and it's like, okay, well, let me tell you this. I haven't seen anybody else say this, but I'm gonna say this. This is what happened to me when I got off of these apps. What I ended up doing was I would replace these apps with other apps on my phone, and I would instead be mindlessly clicking on these apps instead. But these apps aren't as fun as Instagram and YouTube. Like for example, I would probably open up my email account like 30 times a day. And I don't even really get emails, but I'll open it 30 times a day just because I'm like looking for something. I just want a hit, a dopamine hit. So I'll open up email. I'll open up, this sounds silly, I'll open up the weather app, or even I had like a Facebook stint for a little bit, but that's over. Letterboxd. I got on Letterboxd, which is like a movie app where you review movies and stuff, and I'd get on there, and it's not as bad as Instagram and YouTube, but I would find other replacements for these apps, and I would click through them all the time, and but anyway, they're still better than going on Instagram and YouTube, if I'm being honest. I'd rather have a problem with Letterboxd and Gmail than Instagram and YouTube. I think the biggest pro is that I'm not making myself dumber by consuming garbage all day. I think that's really the biggest pro of me getting off social media, is I'm no longer consuming garbage. And it's hard to realize that you're not consuming garbage until you go back and consume garbage again. And you're like, oh shit, yeah, that is bad. But now that I've been off of Instagram and YouTube for so long, it's kind of been something that I've been separated from. So I don't really have a good understanding of how much better I am off that after I've stopped consuming all that nonsense. I don't know if that statement made any sense, but yeah. So anyway, yeah, it's been a year, and I click on Instagram once in a while for DMs, and YouTube to post videos or to watch like my mom's channel or something. But I wish I could sit here and tell you like, oh, my life is ever since I got off Instagram and YouTube, life is amazing and I'm productive, and all my projects are happening. Which, I mean, my projects are happening, and you know, all that. But at least I'm less distracted. I would say I'm less distracted, and I'm not consuming as much garbage, and I am happier for it. I'm very happy that I'm off these apps. I have no intention of returning. Yeah, that's about it. That's my. I feel like it's anticlimactic, but anyway, that's my experience with getting off of those social media platforms. Hopefully, you got something from this video, and thank you for listening to me talk about things that I want to talk about.